It is time for Celebrity Corner. Now, we have long awaited the engagement of Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt, and finally they are going to the altar. Even though previously they committed to not formalizing their union based on lack of marriage equality and commitment of parenting 6 children. Now, what are the odds that they can make this a lifetime commitment? What do you think? Will they last?
I think that they actually might. They've been together for a really, really
How
long
long have they been
time.
together
for a
now?
while.
And then you add 6 children to that with the
Right.
careers that they have and the amount of awards and accolades they've received within that span of time. And it hasn't affected their relationship as of yet. And they've got these negative tabloid ads and all this
Yes,
stuff
they
talking
do.
about their marriages and stuff. And it hasn't affected them. And I think that Brad is really happy with Angelina. Let's not forget that he left Jennifer Aniston for her
Yeah.
on the set of Mr. and Mrs. Smith. So I mean, like he
And that
obviously
was a steamy film.
Yes, it
Yes,
was.
it was.
Now we know where the steam was coming from.
Without a
So,
doubt.
without a doubt. So I think that they can make it. I do.
Yeah, you think so?
I don't know. I mean, it seems like in the celebrity world, once you get married, everything just falls to shambles. So I don't know. I don't know. We'll just have to see. I don't know. They've lasted this long, but we don't know.
Okay.
We'll just
Now,
see.
Roscoe, as a celebrity, what do you think? I mean, it's difficult, I would imagine.
Well, there are many pressures in the celebrity world, especially in Hollywood, that the average person can't even imagine. I mean, having to be in the public eye everywhere you go, and that kind of observation of your relationship is just really, really difficult. Especially if you're the kind of person who seeks that kind of attention. But the fact, as Clarence said, that they have weathered the storm
Yes.
for so long,
Yes.
I think gives them a really good shot, at making it a success.
Well, I hope so.
I hope so, too.
so, because
I hope so,
very
too.
few celebrity unions
Yeah.
really
Last
last
and
the
work out.
lifespan.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
You know, and I'm not really sure that if a person terminates a marriage, that it is actually a bad thing. You know, in China they celebrate divorce as a new beginning. You know, but we here in America we see divorce or separation as a failure, and I don't know if maybe we have this ultimate idea of that marriage is forever and ever and should always be forever and ever, even if you're miserable.
I don't know. I know that my family in Louisiana, every time if they have a divorce, it's always a divorce party, and then we have a crawfish boil and a fish fry. So I don't know. I'm used
There
to
is a
that.
divorce party.
Yeah, there's always a divorce party after a divorce.
everybody's
in
invited.
Louisiana. Everybody's
On both
invited.
sides.
Oh yeah.
Right, and
great.
there's a
Now
new,
the woman usually throws the party because we're gonna spend the husband's money at the party.
Of
but,
course, of course.
you know, there's always a party after the divorce.
Well, I wonder if there's any correlation to the fact that the U.S. has probably the highest divorce rate in the world.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, there must be some connection there.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think America's about options. You know, the fact that you can
true.
opt out of a marriage or a union, that's something that we're so used to within our capitalist society.
Right.
That when we have that type of option within a marriage, we say, you know, this is not necessarily a marriage, this is a business relationship, and I'm not really getting everything that I need from the business. So let me go where I think it could be a little bit more lucrative for me, and that might be being single or being with someone else.
Yeah, it might be.
And also, we have to remember there are places in the world, many places, where not just divorce, but adultery among especially women
Yes.
can be is punishable by
Death.
if
By
not
death.
death
Yeah.
in some
Yeah.
cases, or
Yeah.
severe corporal punishment.
Yes.
You know, it's really
Yes. Which will deter you from getting divorced.
well.
Yes, it
That's
would.
what I'm
It
saying.
might. It might.
Right.
But recently in New York, they had the first divorce. It was like, you know, they have the wedding shows. They had a divorce show, right? Where anyone who's divorced can come and seek legal assistance, anything that you would need in divorce, right? Counseling. And it was a huge success. And I thought, wow, just think about that. Just like they have bridal shows,
Right.
now they're going to start having divorce shows. And I know a lot of people would go out for that because divorce it leaves you alone and trying to get yourself grounded, you
Right,
know, to
right.
the next phase of your life.
Right.
And I think those kind of shows will actually be really successful.
Yes.
I hope
Yeah.
it doesn't happen for Angelina and Brad.
No,
And, you
okay.
know,
I should also mention that we are actually going to be doing a segment of Sesame Street soon dealing with divorce.
Oh wow.
Yeah, where I explain and comfort one of the Muppet characters who's actually is bragging about the fact that she lives in two houses. She lives with her father sometimes and sometimes with her mother.
Okay.
And so she sees it as an advantage, but she also has lots of mixed feelings, which I try to comfort her.
Oh wow.
So it's really important. So there's so many children who
Who are going
experiencing
through that.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly,
that kind of
exactly.
support.
Very
Yeah.
socially
Oh, we'll have to talk
significant.
about that some more a little bit later.
Yeah, that's
you know?
awesome.
Yeah.
That's good.
Well, Kim Kardashian is a busy gal. Not only does she have a new man on her arm, Kanye West, but she is also running for the mayor of Glendale, California. Now, given her track record, are one or both of these events publicity stunts?
Well,
I mean, you think she could really become the mayor of Glendale?
no.
No?
No. I don't know who she's running against, but I mean, if Arnold Schwarzenegger can be the governor of California and then run their economy into the pits to the tune of $12 billion deficit, then, you know, maybe she could be. I have no idea. But I think that Kim Kardashian doesn't need any help being in the public eye. You know, she's at that height in her career. I don't know what her career is. I
Yeah,
can't say what her
that's
talent
my
is.
question. What does
I don't know
Nobody
what
knows
she
she
does.
does.
You know,
Nobody
but-
knows her
you know,
career.
what
Right.
She's
has
a
she
beautiful
ever
girl,
accomplished?
but besides that, I have no idea. But I don't think she needs help being in front of the camera. Like, people are going to want to take her picture. People are going to want to know what she's doing in her life, regardless of whether or not she's with Kanye West or she's the mayor or not. But I'm sure if she was over a municipality, that they would be more interested. So, hey, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think
know.
she's fit to run a city.
No.
I mean, don't you need to be an economist in order to run a city?
She's been running a very successful career. I mean, like the girl or not, you know, she's valued right now at upwards of $70 million. And when she started her career with the whole tape thing, she was nowhere near that. So you can say what you want about the girl, but she's profiting big time in the bank with, you know, the amount of publicity that she's been acquiring and the amount of money that people are using to support because they want to see what she's doing.
Yeah, but how is that relevant to being a political leader?
Well, I'm saying running a business might be similar to running a city. I have no idea. But if it is, and she successfully is running a business, then maybe she might be able to successfully run a city. I can't say.
Well, Mitt
We'll see.
Romney seems to think that there's a correlation between running a business and running the country. So,
So?
perhaps Kim thinks so too.
Maybe so.
You know, but Kim is banking on her beauty.
She's
You know,
gorgeous.
She
She
really
is gorgeous.
She is
She's a
gorgeous.
beautiful girl.
But People magazine has named Beyonce the most beautiful woman in the world. But recently, that fact was contradicted by the Grecian formula for beauty, which named Florence Colgate as the most beautiful woman in the world. Apparently, Florence has the optimal ratio between eyes, mouth, forehead, and chin. Is there any true measurement of beauty? I mean, can we take a look? Can we take a look at that?
Yeah, let's see the
Can we
Yes,
see?
can-
Can we
of
see
the
Can we
them?
see her face?
Right,
and
can we see those two?
the measurements? Yeah.
Right.
Oh.
Look, they look almost identical,
Oh.
right? Beyonce and Florence, only one is darker skin and the other is lighter,
Right.
Oh,
right?
wow.
But I don't know.
Wow.
Can beauty be measured by the distance between your mouth and your nose and your mouth and your eyes?
I mean, metaphorically, you know, beauty's on the inside, and you know,
Right.
beauty's in the eye of
The
the
eye of
beholder.
the
but
beholder.
Whatever.
Absolutely.
You know, I think that Beyonce is a beautiful girl. I think that as a Houstonian, I'm happy that she took home the title for, you know, us Houstonians that are good looking. So I think that that's good. But I think that I've always thought that they measured beauty by estrogen, the amount of estrogen that you have in your features, scientifically.
Right.
So I don't know how much of their study encompasses that, you know,
Right.
the estrogen in your features. I don't know.
We're running out of time. I got a
don't
couple
know.
more things. Now, Ashley Madison, the website with over 13 million mental affairs. Their motto, life is short, have an affair.
Wow.
They are branching into new territory by offering a hefty bounty of $1 million to any woman who can truthfully claim that she had sex with claimed virgin football player Tim Tebow. Why does Tebow's virginity matter so much to the world? I mean, why is that an issue?
I think it goes back to the conversation we were talking about with the Hogans about how it's different standards for a man and a woman.
Yeah.
You know, I think for a woman to be a virgin, it's like, oh yeah, that's great. You know, look, she's holding out, and young girls should look up to her. But for a guy to be a virgin, it's like, oh, he's lying. Nobody's saying young boys should look up to him and stuff like that. So I don't know why it's so
and
important.
he's how old now? Exactly.
He's in his mid-20s, I
20s,
think.
yeah.
He's in his mid-20s.
Yeah.
And also, I think, like I know when I was going to high school and middle school, if a guy was a virgin, he would be looked at as lame, or you know, like he
Right.
wasn't doing the right thing.
Right.
So I think that's probably why it's a big deal as well. Like he said, it's the standards between a man and a woman.
Right,
Right.
exactly. Recently, Los Angeles Laker basketball player Metta World Peace, formerly known as Ron Artest, elbowed basketball player James Harden of Oklahoma City Thunder in the head, causing Harden to suffer a concussion.
Wow.
As a result, Mr. World Peace is seen as unpeaceful and has been suspended for the first 7 games of the playoffs. Is his suspension justified?
Yeah, I was watching that game live when that happened, and I was absolutely shocked and saddened when I saw it. I couldn't believe that in the middle of a basketball game, not only was it a good game, but Ron Artest had just scored an incredible dunk. You know, he
Right.
had, and according to him, he was celebrating. You know, and he was like, you know how they pump their chest or do a pump fist.
Right.
But instead of that, with Harden in right to his left rear, he lifted the back of his head. Wow. And then he just kept going. He didn't even turn
Right.
around.
Yeah.
to
After
help
he had
him.
made
like it was intentional.
contact,
Right.
like so.
And he said afterwards he didn't really intend to do that, but if you accidentally hit someone like that, then your natural
With that kind of
response is,
force.
oh,
Right,
whoa,
right,
didn't
sorry,
even do
sorry,
that.
right,
Right.
no. Yeah, so that was
yeah, it
was
really-
telling.
Right.
I think there's something really, personally, I think there's something really wrong with Metta World Peace or Ron Artest.
Yeah.
I think
I-
anybody who would change their name to
To
Met
Metta
Some
World
World Peace
Met-
it
right.
has some mental issue.
A history of violence in the game. I don't know
Yeah.
if you remember, it was maybe 10 years ago that he was the instigator, or one of the main instigators for this real, incredible brawl, probably the worst NBA brawl in the history of the game.
Was that the one where like they were throwing the
Yeah, they were throwing
chairs? and,
chairs.
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
Yeah, I remember
Empty
that.
out the whole arena.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
mean, you
So
know.
with that kind of history, I mean, he's definitely not Metta World Peace.
No,
No.
he is not. He is not
No,
peaceful.
definitely
No,
not.
he is not. He is not. But we are out of time.
Well,
I'd like to
please.
thank my Hot Topics guests, Mr. Clarence Ball,
Hello.
Miss Ashley Bishop, and Mr. Roscoe Orman, who we'll hear a little bit more from. We have to flip to commercial. But when we come back, we'll travel to Nashville's hottest, newest spot. Stay with us.